How do you do? My name's Wayne Coe, and I'm here tonight to talk about the money that the school sends to the New York State Teachers Retirement System. The New York State Teachers Retirement System is a $137 billion slush fund filled with an enormous number of companies. And many of these companies are easily identifiable as war profiteers. And we are financing with my school taxes the extermination of children in Gaza. The World Health Organization has reported that 6 children an hour are being killed with our munitions created by these companies. I'm not going to ask you why you're investing my money to kill kids. I'm not going to ask you why you as a school board are rubber stamping these investments. I'm going to presume you don't know that it's going on, but that's the way it works. Some people say, well, we need a diagram. It's pretty simple. About 9% of the budget is extracted from the community. It's sent to the New York State Teachers Retirement Fund, which is this giant slush fund up in Corporate Woods Drive. And Mr. Indelicato, their legal man, the manicured legal guy, made it very clear to me when I wrote them, called their president, and visited. I'm sure I'm the only parent in this county who had the guts to drive up there and confront them and ask them, why are you investing my money in Textron Inc., a producer of cluster munitions that kill 40% children? And he was very straightforward. It's like, well, we are required to make the maximum amount of money. And I said, well, don't you have some kind of requirement to ethically, to not do immoral investments? The answer is no. So you guys are human beings like me. You have a soul. You're not a corporate shell. You may be acting as corporate shells here, but I'm trying to appeal to the angels of your better natures. You guys can and should immediately, and I've sent emails to the board members with a list of the companies, demand that NYSTRS divest. I'd have a letter from NYSTRS. They're going to come back and they're going to tell you, no, we'll divest when you get the federal government to break our fingers. Otherwise, they don't care about who's killed. Obviously, there's no use going to Congress. There's no use going to the president. There's no use going to NYSTRS. So I'm here with you human beings and saying this is a very, very easy one. You guys should put together a letter immediately and demand divestment from these companies by NYSTRS so you guys are not funding and being covered with the blood of these children. You're going to get pushback from the administration. I am positive. They're going to say there's a rule, there's a law. You can't do this, you can't do that. The middle school is open because I went around those rules and laws. You have to be persistent and creative, and you have to figure out how to get done what you need to get done. With children being massacred at such a rapid rate with our school tax dollars, I think that this is a priority item, and that you guys should put together some committee to write this letter. Then the question is, what do you do after the letter? As I told you what the response is going to be. No. You guys can boycott NYSTRS. They're going to say, no, you can't. And since most of you are administrators or ex-teachers or connected to the teachers union, you're going to pale at that. But the teachers union is not going to care, again, if my school tax dollars and yours are going to these companies to massacre human beings. But you guys as individuals should. And that's why, since we're approaching Martin Luther King's birthday, or Martin Luther King Day, he went and had the same decision to make as a human being, as a person of faith, and as, as a great human rights leader. And that was, does he stand up against the federal government or the superintendent to stop the massacre of children? And he was faced with a document he was shown that proved that 250,000 children had been killed by the U.S. government in the Vietnam War at that point. And he was brave. He was wise. But he said, I will face defamation. I will face angry newspapers. I will face whoever. I do not want to be rubber stamping mass murder. And that's my appeal to you. I know there are obstacles. And if you have any interest, I will help you come up with creative ways, being an artist, to get around those obstacles. But we have no time to waste. And you guys do have the power. You may be told that you don't, but you absolutely do. Thank you.
We are reaching the point of no return, where blatant disregard for international humanitarian law scars our collective consciousness. As of this morning, 283 healthcare workers in Gaza have been killed. The last 2 months has been the deadliest conflict in United Nations history, with 133 of their staff members killed. There have been 212 attacks on Gaza healthcare facilities since October 7th. This includes 24 different hospitals that have been bombed by Israel, over 100 ambulances that have been put out of service. Israel has arrested dozens of doctors. Their whereabouts remain unknown. The head of the main hospital, Shifa Hospital in Gaza City, Mohammed Abu Salmiya, has been under Israeli arrest since November 22nd. Many other senior doctors have continued to be held by the Israeli military for almost 2 weeks with no charges, and no one knows their whereabouts. Rantizi Pediatric Subspecialty Hospital, bombed. Al-Nasser Pediatric Hospital, bombed. Gaza's only eye hospital, bombed. Gaza's only mental health hospital, bombed. Wafa Rehabilitation Hospital, bombed. The seniors facility immediately adjacent to Wafa Rehabilitation Hospital, bombed. Al-Jura Children's Hospital, targeted with prohibited white phosphorus, October 12th. Indonesian Hospital, the only hospital currently operating in the north, still trying to treat patients while being bombed. Shifa Hospital, bombed. The 2 medical schools in Gaza, Islamic University of Gaza, bombed. Al-Azhar University Medical School, bombed. Médecins Sans Frontières ambulance convoy, bombed. Red Cross ambulance convoys, bombed. Of 35 hospitals in Gaza, as of this morning, 26 are non-functional, 9 remaining only partially functional, but they are operating at more than double their capacity, with critical shortages of basic supplies and fuel. These facilities are also providing shelter to thousands of internally displaced people. Palestine Red Crescent Society yesterday announced that operations of their ambulances in northern Gaza has stopped due to depletion of fuel, hospital closures. It is now impossible to evacuate wounded people in the north. Instead, those patients are left to die. As of this morning, over 17,000 Palestinian people have been killed, including over 7,000 children. There are at least 46,000 people injured, thousands of whom are critically injured. There is insufficient hospital space to treat even a fraction of these patients. Massively overcrowded United Nations shelters have become havens to spread infectious diseases, including a hepatitis A outbreak, multiple meningitis outbreaks, lice, skin infections, and multiple diarrheal illness outbreaks. the United Nations Human Rights Office has declared on December 5th, the pattern of attacks that target civilian infrastructure raises serious concerns about Israel's compliance with international humanitarian law and raises the risk of atrocity crimes. There have been immeasurable numbers of violations of special protection to civilians, children, and medical personnel, and widespread violations of international humanitarian law.